Oh, where did TikTok Studio go? Nah. Nah, yeah. Been a while, hasn't it? Man. Early morning, early morning. Well, late for most of you. Evening for some. Hello, Paolo. Cool. Hi there, Reed. Vega. The Vesper cam works. Good. And there's me. I can't get over your voice, lad. Nothing unusual about it, Reed. But thanks. There. Hey there, cat lion. Is that cat lion? Potato Foxy, I see you lurking there. Hi there, Tates. I see you're saving up for the big screen beyond too. Ah, I too have been thinking about it, but unlike you, you have the benefit of already existing base stations. Hmm, if only. I wonder how much it will be if I order 4 base stations and then the was it the Valve Knuckles? Vive Knuckles? I forgot.
All I know is there's like 600 updates from what Mystic told me.
Oh, it
I
can't be
could imagine it
600.
being way steeper for the Philippines.
I bet. Man. Hmm. Good morning, everybody. It's wow, I hiccup. It's me, Gibbous. Last stream I did not have much energy, so let's see if we can like make up for it today. I feel refreshed. I've had my 8 hours of sleep. I just ate prior to stream. I have my handy bottle of hydrating material by my side. Well, by my side, I mean inside the fridge, but you know what I mean. Good to see you on my FYP again, says Easy. Thanks. I'm glad you like the algorithm throwing me towards you. The third person POV was really good. Oh, you mean this? Right. At least you have a better glimpse of downtown. Yeah, the splendor of District Roboto. Hi there, Leah. I hope it's not too dark for you guys. Hi there, Axiom. Nice to see you. Oh, is that my tail in my back? Goodness me. I hope my voice isn't too low. I fiddle around with my microphone settings. Yeah. Also, Holy, thank you so much for the heart rain. Gosh, you know, m- it's been a while since anybody's really sent anything on TikTok. I mean, the roses and whatnots. I completely appreciate from the bottom of my heart. But was somebody tossing in a whole big bag of coins? Man, that hasn't happened in a while. So yeah, thanks for the hearts, guys. Vesper says, I advise rest over kidney stones from too many energy drinks. You know, that is absolutely sound advice. You probably should listen. Oh, shoot, sorry. Cross the other leg. There. Yep, and that is my tail clipping through me. Come on, come on. Ah, hello. Ah, you know what? There you go. Whoa! Is that the big blue swirly cosmic thing I just saw? Goodness me. Thank you so much for the galaxy. Wow. I don't know what to say. Thank you, Flash Anto. Or should I just call you Flash? You may prefer it that way. I'm gonna go now, says Suki. You have a great morning, Gibbons. You have a great morning too, Suki. Thanks for dropping by. Hi, Anubis. Yes, I finally found a setup where I can glance at your gifts and I can see what's going on. So thanks. You have a great morning too, Leah. Gideon the Dragon Slayer says about energy drinks. Just drink one every 2 hours, you're fine. I've done it in the summer playing video games. You, sir, will not reach the age of 30 if you are below 30. Big yikes. Energy drinks aren't good, chat. Take it from Vesper.
Yeah, no, I've had quite adverse reactions from that. Like, spikes of anxiety, for example. Like, Geb's been witness to this. Like, I DM him all this nonsense, and he's like, you know what? Yeah, I would like to think about it. This coffee's making things go to shit, so nah, I'm good. I'm done.
So, yeah, energy drinks. Ill advised.
Mhm.
Hi there, Arrow. Good morning. You may be wondering where I am. Chat, as you can see, I am by the steps of the city, well, the town. I'm at District Roboto, as usual. But instead of being inside the restaurant, here I am over at the streets. The streets has a certain soul to it, if you get my drift. Nothing feels more like the heart of a city than semi rundown apartments and littered streets, and citizens chit chatting about their daily lives. Hmm. Hi there, Thor. Oh, Thoratin. So, yeah. But let's bring back the camera to being zoomed in. Well, not that zoomed in at least. How does spin tree look? There we go. You know, I probably feel at home here at District Roboto a whole lot because I'm really near to Chinatown. Chinatown here is just it's just so nice despite the clutter that Chinatown is known for. But all the smells of spices, interesting things that are being cooked for the stalls. Mmm, very nice and homey. Not to mention the Chinese groceries. Ooh. Vesper says, forgive incidents of me spacing. I really like the colors of the lights. You did get your lenses now, did you? How big of a difference is it, Ves?
Well, when my bit rate is high, wow, it is clear.
It's really clear, right? It's so nice. What better world to test out your new and enhanced clarity than District Roboto? Asan yung monoblock? Hi there, shops.
Hi.
Yeah. Shopa wala. I'm sitting here by the streets, by the stairs. How are you? I know you've been going through a bit of a rough patch involving kittens and school and a whole lot of financial duress. But the fact that you're here on stream means you're still afloat, and that makes me happy. Kitten is doing better-ish. Is it me or I can't hear Vesper on stream? Vesper, can you try talking real quick?
Hello.
Ah, her voice is really low. Okay. Again. Please.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
Hello?
Yeah, I got it. It's on my end. Hi there, Papercraft. It's been a while. Oh, the clipping. Oh, my bad, chat. Well, we do. You know, funny enough, this is actually the time slot in where most US people are supposedly tuning in, and that is a theory that I'm going to be putting to the test. I'll see you around, Avery. What is that? Line of sight? Obscuring. 9 p.m. on a Monday. No music, really? No music has been playing? That's strange. Oh, what the hell? I didn't know that. Hold on. Let me go.
Whoops.
Shit. Oh my goodness, chat. I've been streaming for the past 15 minutes. There we go, chat. Can you hear the music now? Can you hear Vesper?
I'd hope so.
Let me know, chat. Is it working now? Vesper, say something. There. Sorry.
Hello, chat.
Reintroduction. So Vesper recently got glasses. These are called lens inserts, prescription lens inserts for her Quest Pro. And then how is it?
Nice and clear, at least in comparison to how it was before.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm glad that's the case.
Yeah, if you couldn't already tell by the glasses on my avatar, my vision's not the best. One eye is like significantly worse than the other. So these lenses are definitely an upgrade.
Oh yeah. I myself am using the same brand of prescription lens inserts, and let me tell you, the upgrade in fidelity is clearly remarkable. Lighty and warm too. You know me, I try to put atmosphere into my lives. Like my lives, I want them to look like a snippet of my life. You know, little moments of downtown. Some free time where I can chat with you. I can't unsee the Virgil here. Oh. Well, I. Good morning, Ali. What made you change the color and the symbol on your pants? I didn't change it. Maybe it's just the light. Oh, Anubis. You see, it's a bit different because it's not light emanating from my skin. So it's from the cloth, hence the darker coloration. That's my explanation, at least.
Yeah, it's not the same glowing blue as him,
Yeah.
because I'm pretty sure that is fabric paint of some sort.
Yep. Fabric paint. Yeah, you know those little stalls in the malls. They usually sell these fluorescent or glow in the dark stuff. Always has like the alien gray man motif and whatnot. Oh, you see the cats running around. Yeah, it's part of the place. I'm not glow sticking. Yeah. Hi there, John. Burr. How does it look, the stream? Oh, not bad. Cool. Grayscale lighting on. 10 hours. Gosh, that's a long while. Oh, okay.
I don't even think our time spent in VR in a single day surpasses that.
Yeah. Unlike before, though. Funny enough, Vesper, when I was still roaming the public worlds, February, March, I think early April, I used to, well, I hanged around a whole lot more than I am now. Now I guess I just get tired from streaming. I like after I stream, I want to hop off and just rest. So back then when it was just me hanging around in public instances like the furry hideout and whatnot, I used to stay there for holy hell, I think the longest I sat there was 6 or 7 hours. I was just there in the mirror, listening into conversations from other people. I was a nobody. I was what? I was new user rank, green, title card and everything. The longest I've been VR is, well, it's nothing compared to the people that sleep in VR. But the longest I've been in VR straight without sleeping is 16 hours, I think, or more. I just remember I had to I had to put my controllers down and let it charge for an hour or so, and then I could use it again. And my controllers usually run out of batteries at the 10-hour mark, or 9. Not bad considering it's over a year in age.
And I used to be one of those people who slept in VR. I think my record was what, like 3 days straight? 4?
Vesper, yes, because she had the Quest 2. Unlike me, who has a Quest Pro, it's not that comfortable. She could afford sleeping in VR a whole lot longer than I can. I can just do micro naps. I don't know, like an hour tops. I think it was when you were watching a movie
Good
in
hour tops, I think, for you. Yeah.
Popcorn Palace, and then yeah, I just
Yeah,
promptly
and I
fell
haven't
asleep.
tested it out.
Which one? The
Nor
headset?
should I
Oh no,
like sleeping with a headset on.
not
No.
advised. 16 hours. Yeah, I was online for 16 hours, just chatting with friends and whatnot. You'd be surprised how conversations, once there's momentum, once there's spirit, there's soul, there's color in it, just lets the clock tick by. Hours turns into minutes. Your morning turns into afternoon. From your afternoon, it turns into the evening. Yeah. It's all about picking the right company. Xiaopao said, out of the subject, I got into Elder Scrolls 5 last night, Skyrim, and immediately thought it should be played on VR by someone. I've looked at it. I actually wanted to try the AI companions mod. It changes, no, AI NPCs. It changes everything now that they're smart. They actually have personalities and they have morals to follow and whatnot. Should be the standard for townsfolk. Imagine them reacting to context that's happening around them. It's not just predetermined scripts and whatnot. It's all dynamic. Oh, I mod the game from day one if I can. That's the beauty about Skyrim or like platforms that has ease of modding, like Minecraft, for example. And Terraria. I played a little bit of the vanilla. I saw how good the mods are, and then I saw like, hey, these mods they usually have way more content compared to vanilla, and all of the fun stuff is in the mods. Classes, RPG systems, and much more. More weapons, more this and that. I am not for the mods that really break away from the flavor of the game. Like putting Thomas the Tank Engine into Skyrim, I think that's dumb. It's funny, but it's dumb. But I sure as heck always mod my companions to look the way I want them to look. Who was that vampire chick over at Skyrim? I'm trying to remember. She was the one you woke up in that casket and then she was like a princess or some high blood of some sorts. Her default appearance wasn't exactly as flattering given her ashen gray and reddish bloodshot eyes. So a little bit of spiffing up some digital makeup thanks to Nexus Mods' mods. Oh my gosh, he finally looks the part. Serena. Right. So yeah. Makes me want to fire up Skyrim just so I can roam around the world and see how my companions enjoy it. Bastard of Count's family. I need to see what that looks like. Shopao, can you confirm if what Gideon is saying, no, what Board is saying is correct? Is the setup for all this expensive? Hardware wise, not really. Anybody can strive and work for it if they want to. Took a bit of not a bit, a big chunk of my savings just so I could afford the headset alone back then. And any earnings I made on stream since last year, I've been putting back into hardware. Aside from lasagna, of course, I like buying my food. What can I say? It doesn't help that there's a lasagna place that opened by my place, quite literally a 20-second walk from my doorstep. That's, yeah. Talk about temptation, huh? Lasagna, correct. Lasagna all week. This one will gain a lot of weight if I indulge in nothing but that terrific dish of pasta. No, is it even considered pasta? Yes, layered pasta. Spaghetti cake. Yep, lasagna is nothing but spaghetti cake. Trash of the Kant's family is the man. Oh, that's what you meant. I do look like the guy, huh? Hmm. He's so small and he looks adorable. There's Shibi. The hell, you've got some flattering words. Welcome to the stream. Geb's response so adorable or cute. He's Filipino, I think,
Well,
based on what I
know.
saw. Ray is correct. I'm from the Philippines, chan. Vesper here is American. She's from the good old
Yeah.
US of A.
For what? I want to know what she heard.
What did Vesper say, chan? Something's different, says Joshua. Oh. Always cute in my eyes. But, It was quick and quiet, says Shopao. Ah, I see. The link to the Discord doesn't work. Do you know what could be the reason? The invites have probably expired. Salve, how about you go type exclamation point Discord and see if that works? Well, congratulations on finding a job. That's easy to do. Now, I'm not sure if that Discord link is gonna work or not, but you can always try. Same link broken. Oh well. What can we do? Maybe I'll update it after stream.
For now, though, is it alright if I substitute for now with just one link as a friend invite to the server?
You mean you're gonna paste it in chat? Yeah, go ahead. Vesper's being nice, chat. So she's going to be posting a link to the server soon. So keep your eyes peeled. Can you post for an edit? An edit? Pray tell, an edit of what? What's this? What flag in their TikTok? I saw the flag in their bio before I watched the Twitch stream. Those are some cute models. I'm going to have a good stream. I'm going have a good stream. Bye. You can edit Discord links so don't expire. Here's the thing though. There's a reason why I post expire. Links that expire and these links also have limited uses because this minimizes damage from hate raids, and whatnot that want to enter the server. What's this? Tamaguyaki Ray is asking if we can be mutuals. It's really rare for them to see Filipino first, apparently. You know what's funny? We actually have a very big community that I am not a part of. I mean, I don't really partake in any of the community stuff. I just know it's there. Good morning, Rain. As for mutuals, well, what do you have to offer, Ray? Why should I add you as a friend? Why should I let you into my circle? My own little personal bubble. Don't be like that guy who just burst my personal bubble. Rude. I don't. It was a little robot walking around. Apparently, I was in his pre-programmed path for walking on the day. In no clip to your bubble. Yeah.
Yeah, the robots don't exactly have a sense of personal space, so they will just walk right on through.
That's so true. They're just gonna walk past you and everything, yeah. You see what I mean, Chan? Okay, that's for you. I will indulge. An edit by Shibi. Follow them. Follow me. The robot wants to be friends with you. Huh. I don't know if I'm friends with any of the locals here. Me and Me and my friends at the restaurant sure are tight and buddy. Well, have you seen Chef's face? Whenever I go pop in and loiter in his restaurant and never order, his eyes just brighten up in rage, in delight that I am there to give him my company yet again. Oh, chef. That's lovely, honestly. I'm good, don't worry. What does the restaurant specialize in? In meals that, well, most of these meals I actually can't order. I guess they're inedible. But surprisingly little did I know that chef actually has stock on some good old sashimi. I don't know how old the fish is or how long has it been in the freezer, but he's always been serving it to me fresh. And upon checking the back of the streets, far to my right, give it a 5-minute walk, you're gonna end up in the docks. Over at the horizon by the ocean. It's nighttime right now, so you would see lights on boats. It's what I assume are fishing boats. You don't have a main. No, I don't. And I want to keep it that way.
And I have one, but I swapped it out for something much more neat.
Yeah, Vesper too. She apparently had fun with the hot iron and straightened it out. The scarf though, where? Goodness me, you remember that old scarf of mine? I'm not sure where it is. I woke up one day and then I just didn't bring it to work, and as the days passed by, I just kind of forgotten about it. Maybe when it's very cold again, like the Christmas season, I'll go put it back on. If you grew a mane, what would you do? I would trim it back to how I have it right now. I'm not a fan of the manes on my persona, in all honesty. I find it bulky, intrusive, uncivilized, and aesthetic. Why, hello, Advanced. Or Advanced RGB, sorry. It seems like Colleen is gonna locate my scarf. Mm. Oh my. Hmm. What is with you and your vibe? What do you mean? I'm just me. Are those strays in the background? I'm not sure if these cats have owners or they are their own masters, but there's a lot of them. One of them walking around. Let's see if they have a collar. They didn't spot one on that, so it must be a free spirit. Advance is okay. And yeah, Nova Beast has a more civilizated, okay, that's a new term. Civilizated look, but I like the more wild way. You see, that's the beauty of design. You can have side A, you can have side B. Red, blue, green, yellow. Civilized, cool, prim, proper, wild. The spectrum of design that you can apply to an avatar sure is wide. Are they actually moving in the background? Here, let me fix up the focus. As you can see, I'm just part of a larger town, chat. Well, not a very good zoom, but you see, look. You see those robots in my background? They're just conversing with each other. That guy over there by the monoblock chair, which I want to borrow, but he wouldn't lend it to me, he's just sitting around, quite literally. Mm. The other robots to the right, I'm sure you can see a shoulder moving here. That's the big guy conversing with another one. So, yeah. Why, good evening, Raven. Ooh, that. You know what? Because it's bad life advice, I'll indulge you. What's the best way to make quote unquote poison? Simple. You mix some orange juice, toothpaste, give it a good swirl, top it off with some nice, lovely baby powder. Draw a little heart on top, do those little arts, chug it. You'll have fun. I am. I am what? Ah, if it isn't Axiom. Hi there. Welcome back. I see you've been really invested in the game Unturned. Nah, I'm glad you're having fun. Sprunky is asking pets. I do have pets. I have a lot of fish. Hundreds of them. Small fish, though. Um, and then I have my pet cat. I have my pet shrimps. My pet snails.
All animals except for Yummy.
Yeah.
And again, he's a cat.
Oh my goodness.
Hmm?
No, hold on. There.
What, are you wanting me to answer the question as well?
N- oh no, I was fixing my thing. But yeah, by all means, go answer the question. I bet chat
No
is
worries.
curious about Vesper's pets. And don't say it's Geb, no.
Well, no, definitely. Listen, I'm not the boss of him. He's not the boss of me. The only pet that I have myself is a guinea pig. Otherwise, I am surrounded by maybe 5 fish, 3 dogs, and a cat that aren't mine.
Oh, there you have it, chat. What country are you living in right now? I live in South Atlantis, chat. It's a little west of Florida, 13 miles out. I'm just joking. I'm from the Philippines. Oh, that's surprising. Potato Fox is still here. Has my stream open? Hi. I can actually see who's lurking on my TikTok streams right now, chat. I should have done this since before. Is the Philippines fun? The definition of fun is very broad. But for the most part, yeah, people here aren't rule book lawyers. You can't just sue somebody for inconveniencing you, no. Very community driven justice. As for the food, very cheap, very hearty, very real. Fresh catches, fresh slaughters, freshly prepared. Thank you, angelic devil. What got you to make your sonas? Me? What made me me? I don't know. I just wanted a reflection of how I am IRL, I suppose. Uh, a place where I can actually talk with somebody listening. Colleen says bro is being flirty now. Sheesh. Me? Flirty? Please. I reserve those for. I'm not gonna finish the sentence, everyone. Hi.
Hi.
So, anyway. Hi, Action. What are the pros and cons of Philippines? Ask Born. Oh man, that's an exhaustive list. Pros. Okay. One. Lots of good travel destinations. It's a tropical country, an island tropical country. There's beaches everywhere, everywhere. And if it's not beaches, it's the lovely mountains. Cons. It's really hot, chat. We're in the equator, so expect temperatures of 36, 37 degrees Celsius on average during daytime. Not to mention, the air is also very humid, so sticky, icky. um, next is the food. Yeah, the food is really good here. It's really good, it's really cheap. You can avail of Japanese cuisine as easy as you would in Japan because we have a lot of ocean. I dare say we have more ocean accessible. um, Cons. There's a very large divide between the wealthy and the poor. Oh. All right. So, if you don't have money here, there's really not much you can do entertainment wise to enjoy. But if you do have money, if you're a low wage earner in the States, it's the equivalent of being a high wage earner in the Philippines. Trust me. The cons, though, in order to enjoy all these luxuries, you have to contend with traffic, chat. Traffic here is atrocious, probably the worst in the world, well, at least in the top 10. I remember having to fetch somebody, it's 8 kilometers away. On a bad day, that's an hour and a half. On a good day, where there's minimal traffic, maybe 20 or 30. That's with a motorcycle, chat. With a car, oh, always an hour minimum. The robot always wants its moment. Nah, yeah. That's the other thing. 8 kilometers is walkable if your city has good infrastructure. There's not much sidewalks here, chat. The sidewalks here are quite literally only 2 feet wide or less, and then there are electric poles in the middle of them, and they're ill maintained. Not much good city planning here. And did I mention it's hot and dusty, and there's a lot of smog. Very, very bad pollution. So walking outside really isn't an enjoyable ordeal. If you live in a country where you're able to safely jog in the morning, you hear the chirping of the birds, the swaying of the leaves on the trees in your neighborhood. Your eyes delighted by the green of well manicured lawns. Your neighbor walking their very, very well groomed dog. Then consider yourself lucky. Here you walk dangerous streets, dangerous paths around every corner. You go outside at 4 a.m. hoping to escape the heat of the sun just so you can jog in pace. Nah. You are gonna go jog on streets that are ill illuminated. Shady people are sitting around, just keeping their sticky eyes on you as you run past them. You pray that it's a dog chasing you, not another shady guy. You'd be considered lucky if it was only your belongings that were taken. Crime is prolific in my city, my country. Not much you can do when the justice system itself is rotten to the core. Justice. Selective justice. Justice that sometimes you have to take into your own hands, in all honesty. They're not there to defend you, Chad. They're not there to save you unless it's convenient for them or they have something to gain. Wealth, fame, a reputation, a promotion. Nah, but if your problems have nothing to help them with, consider yourself on your own. That's the street of the Philippines, Chad. But darkness and shadows aside, you'll also find the most welcoming and hospitable of people. Sometimes the one that is least financially capable. Those that are poor, marginalized, are actually the ones with the biggest hearts. You walk around, sometimes these people living in shanties, they still wear their smiles proudly. They see you're a foreigner, they'll say, hey, come, enjoy a meal with us. They want some coffee, and then they're gonna offer their coffee. You know, these people earn very little, maybe $1 or $2 per day. They just get by with whatever scraps they can go with. But yeah, a mix of good and bad, like in any place. The number one thing that you gotta have here if you don't have access to money is street smarts. You gotta know the streets, Chad. Immerse yourself. Meet the people from all walks in life. Into the radius, isn't that a game? Hey, you asked a question, I answered. So yeah, hope that satisfies your curiosity. Sorry if I'm shifting my legs a lot. Sitting on stairs isn't exactly comfortable. Vesper's well cushioned behind, though, seemingly can make even a bunch of rusty railings feel like a sofa to her bum. She's just better at sitting than I am, Chad. That's what I meant. German, me. Gosh, Chad, I am anything but European. Again, I'm Asian 100%. He did before. You know what? I'm gonna turn off the chat filter so I can see all of the messages. Color me curious. There. Hope I don't regret this choice. You know, after turning on followers only chat, I've noticed a dramatic increase in the quality of the messages being sent. Thank goodness. You might regret it. I know. But also, I'm interested. Interested in what people have to say. What's your favorite Filipino food? At this point, it still has probably to go to sisig. Nothing beats a nice hot, sizzling plate of sisig with egg, calamansi, rice. Oh, I wonder what playlist I'm playing. Hmm. Nice. Hello, Bermuda. I'm okay. Nothing special going on right now. It's just me, Chan. Concrete is great for sleeping on. Not really. I've tried. I should know. Have you ever been homeless, Chan? I guess not. What avatar is that? It looks like a Nova Beast, but I'm not sure. Have a closer look. Close enough. Because I started as a Nova. That persona couldn't quite leave me 100%. But what matters is the man before you is still Gebos. Same old me. But Skeeter, how about you give a good guess? I'm sure you can tell by the teeth. Thank you. I appreciate it. Hello, Kakash. Rin. Man. Axiom says, I went to made food and came back to you zoomed and smiling. It made me smile too. For you, Axiom. That'll be $300, Mr. Sam. If you could wish for one thing, what would it be? The ability to control how long I live. Everything else will follow. Wishing for outright immortality can be a curse. Mm-mm. Also, Fluffs, thanks. Not only are you wishing me a good stream, you're also blessing me with a whole lot of support, and I appreciate that. I like the Tokyo scene. Not quite Tokyo, but. mm, That is the sound of a raid. I've innocent Cameron. Hi there, Cameron. Nice to see you. How'd your stream go? Hope you had fun. Cameron says, I wish for a new pair of lungs, please. Oh my. That sounds like a familiar thing. What do we do with Cameron's wish? I know Axiom needs a new set too. Maybe we can give Axiom a bunch of our spare party balloons and let us hack his lungs. This needs to be sterilized before putting it in. It's just two spare balloons. Like, happy 24th birthday, Geb, from like all those years ago. And then you give it to Axiom. Just, it's a little old. The writing's coming up. It's better than nothing. Yep.
Yeah, definitely better than
Yep.
nothing.
Some old balloons. There's a cute cat in the background. Correct. Gebos, you want to know something? Go ahead. Cameron says, just replace my lungs with bagpipes. Let me run a marathon while being noisy like Duck That Smooth. Oh my goodness. You would rival the guy who was gonna pull like the car jacks around neighborhood. Do you know how noisy those are? Skeeter says if I could get a wish for one thing, it would be a full VR chat setup, PC, body, face tracking, and avatar. You know, Skeeter, that's not a wish. Very shallow if it's a wish. It's a goal. Because you know you can do it. I know you can do it. You gotta work hard. Hi there, Cheetah. Motivational Gib. Only $9.99 per month. What's that? You're the first VR person I chatted with on here. Hi there. I am specifically that one niche of VR chat streamer that actually just doesn't outright show skin but I try to be a bit different while being relaxing at the same time. Skeeter says, okay, you have to tell me your secret. How is your voice sounding so soothing and smooth? And I finally have an answer for that, chat. You see, my accent is born from my inadequacy in the English language. English isn't my mother tongue. I just have really long pauses stretches, intonations. Because I'm constantly thinking of the next word to say, so I don't sound like an idiot. But that only happens, well, 7 out of 10 times. I still fumble a lot, as you may notice. So, yeah. Thank you, Jen. You are awesome at English, Shash. Uh, um, I try my best to practice. Hindi ba Filipino kayo? Oh, has anyone ever done the MAOW point redeem? Look at Axiom. I think he did. You speak better. Excuse me. You speak better English than most people in America. Oh, I have hiccups. Oh no. No, look. That is a bona fide American, like, girl over there.
Yes.
So yeah.
Yeah, I I live in the Midwest, so yeah, bona fide American right over here.
I really desperate, damn it. Are you Filipino?
Said you had
Yes.
hiccups.
Yes, I am. Where did my juice go? There we go. Whew, that's good. A second too late.
Beat you to it. Yep, got hiccups. Okay, time to hydrate.
Right. How much did your setup cost?
Oh,
7 nights of working as a dishwasher over at Chef's place across the street. Yeah. Chef has a surprising amount of wealth. Goodness me. But I think he just gave me a whole lot of extra because I know he secretly wants me there in the restaurant. He just isn't much of a wordy sort of guy, but I can see it behind his glare that this Gebus has to stay here. Well, best perhaps to excuse yourself. You drive in customers for him, probably. Also acts as advertisement, doesn't it, Anubis? Yeah, it's a stretch. Okay, for you. Oh, shoot. That made me sleepier more than anything. How long have you had this setup? I. What do you mean? Like my headset, my avatar, the aesthetic? If it's the aesthetic, probably around June of last year, July. It's always just been like this. Ads are mean. By the way, chat, the music isn't too low, right? Or isn't too high. It's just right. It doesn't overpower my voice. The music is all good. All right, sweet. Thanks, Bacon. Have either you or Vesper read the Throne of Glass series? I don't know about Vesper, but I haven't. What's that about? A positive interruption for once. Ice cream, says Vesper. Ooh. I had a mango shake yesterday. It's a smoothie, but with mangoes and graham crackers in it. If only I could have more. But then again, I would end up like fat. I don't want to be fat. I want some vanilla ice cream right now. Maybe with a bit of cookies on the side. Yeah. Cookies and cream sounds good. The music is perfect, thanks. Yep, I live 13 hours ahead. That's for certain. Where is Vesper? She is clearly not on her perch any longer. You're stuck with me, chat. Your Discord link is invalid. Yep. I know Vesper posted a updated link earlier. You just have to scroll up. Yeah, just scroll up. It's somewhere there. I got a dipped cone vanilla ice cream, says Vesper. Ooh, that sounds good. And I would eat the cone after too. Wait, you have a Discord. If you squint and look at this upper part, you see this? Yeah, my finger's not pointing. Do you see this blue thing, TikTok watchers? That is actually my Discord link. Remember, it only has a limited amount of users, so if you're gonna join, you better join in now. Yep. Seize the opportunity, chat. Whoa, buddy. Okay. But yeah, what headset do you use? I use a Quest Pro. These are the standard Quest Pro controllers, which sometimes bug out. But they're nice because they can track behind your head, no problem. At this point, the robot wants attention. He's coming back, chat. He's coming back. I'm just gonna move. I'm gonna move and let him go. Yes, Your Highness, you may pass by. Where did you get the avatar? 1. Go to Gumroad, buy the Volper base. 2. Go to Gumroad, buy the High-Init base. 3. Get some knowledge in Blender. Combine all these. Once you're combined, get knowledge in Substance Painter. paint all these. Third, put them in Unity. Make them work together. Upload in VR chat. So yeah, I'm a, I'm a chimera, chat. I'm a mix of things. Explain in pop terms. Spend a little, yeah, a little bit under $100. Smash them together in your favorite 3D application of choice and upload it to VR chat. I actually think this form encapsulates my personality a whole lot better compared to before. Mm, feels more like me, in all honesty. Conveys my emotions, my feelings, my little body language. Yes, my languages? My little. Damn, what do you call it in English? Mannerisms, better. The Discord link is expired. Oh well. What can we do? I have to see why my hand isn't open anymore. There. Accessorize, customize, and stylize. Style Cyber. That's the name of the shop across where I'm sitting. Adorable all the same. Yes, I love you too, darling. Mannerisms, body language, facial expressions, all amplified in comparison to when I first met you. What world is that, and is it Quest compatible? Unfortunately, District Roboto is not Quest compatible. Nice little place, though. I mean, are you an engineer? I am anything but. I was an animation student, chat. I studied in a place called CSB. That district is for certain individuals only, says Anubis. Certain individuals with PC access. Eating it before I go. I don't want to get my headset messy, says Vesper. Finish your ice cream, darling. You could be an engineer. You have the intelligence for it. Any engineering prowess, I've applied it into my hobby towards two-wheelers. Dabbled a little bit into welding and machining. Electrical wiring. Ugh. I used to assemble electric motorcycles, chat. So, as some garages would make choppers, bobbers, cafe racers, scramblers, I did the same. I did the same, except I turned them into electric versions of that. You come in with your old gas bike that's run down. It doesn't matter if it's a Chinese bike or not. And then it'll roll out of my garage, all brand new, nice and shiny. But electric. The whole soul of the past and heart of the future sort of deal. If you heard that line on TV, then you know who I am. Shh, shh, shh. Quiet, chat. You're not an engineer but self-taught with electrical and mechanical know-how. YouTube and disassembly of actual things teaches you so much. Okay, where are you? I want to get my bike converted to electric. Unfortunately, that is a business venture that I no longer pursue. Now I'm just doing things in front of my computer, doing avatar work for me and my friends, or texture painting, and what little Unity knowledge I can do. Being autodidact helps you a whole lot. What is autodidact again? I've encountered that term before. I just can't remember what it is. Vesper says Geb's curiosity is guiding flame for his greatness. Greatness? Oh, please. To be fair, ever since I was young, whenever I'd get a new set of toys, my train set in particular, yeah, little choo-choo train, it would emit smoke by putting drops of something over it by its like chimney. I'm like, how does that work? So I did what I did. I played with it for 10 minutes and then I disassembled the train. I've learned about how brushed motors work and polarities and whatnot at a young age. I would find extra batteries, wire it in series. Oh, 9 volts, 18 volts now. Man, my train was flying off the tracks. It also burned the motor in short. Um, in a short amount of time. It was fun hot rodding toys. Autodidact says here. A person who gains knowledge through self teaching. Yes, precisely. During my free time, what do? I teach myself new things. I make sure that I go to bed wise and I wake up wiser. Huh, that could be my motto now that I think about it. Oh yeah. Magandang umaga sa inyo, TikTok. Good afternoon or good evening to you if you're from other parts of the world. Yeah, you too, Twitch. Hi, Geb, you're finally back on my FYP. Ah, well, seems the algorithm is still okay with me being present in people's timelines. Vesper says, saddened boy when his train broke, but I can see that being fun. I never got sad about my toys being broken. All my toys were broken because I opened them up. My water gun, I needed to learn how the pump mechanism works. Are you from the Philippines? Yes. What are your hobbies? Right now, working on avatar stuff. Well, just predominantly my stuff. I'm still nowhere near the refinement to offer my services to other people. But I can get things done. What else? Fish keeping. I have a bunch of aquariums here in my apartment, which also has clothes, what? No. Plants, which also has plants like growing out from the surface and they turn into vines creeping all over my walls. And I also like motorcycling a lot. In fact, I'm streaming so I can save. I mean, I am hoping that one day that I earn enough to buy my dream bike. That is my biggest motivator right now. But that is a long, long road. Remember, chat, streaming doesn't always guarantee you income. You're essentially just like those buskers on the street, hoping for people to toss coins into your hat. My dream bike is a Honda Africa Twin DCT. I'm aiming for the 2025 version, but I wonder what the 2026 has. The 2025 was just a change in color, and seeing how it's been 10 years since Honda released the first Africa Twin, that's gonna be their 10-year anniversary. The 2026 Honda Africa Twin definitely has to have something revolutionary, groundbreaking, big. Should I get Japanese food or Chinese food for dinner? Bad life advice. If you frequent Walmart a lot and your favorite buddy is the mobility scooter for disabled people, but you can clearly walk, just not under your weight, then yes, get some Chinese food because they're higher in calorie content. But if you want something nice and refreshing for the weekends, go ground yourself, your conscience that you've eaten healthy, then get some Japanese. If you want an in between, you can always get some chicken karage from a Japanese place. It's always good because you can reheat it, especially if you have Japanese rice. But then again, Chinese cuisine, if you've had a recent taste of it and it wasn't enough, you could always get more. Chinese cuisine, TLDR, delicious. More options, more colors, more flavor. Japanese, it's healthy, not as exciting, clearly, because they're predominantly just raw slices of fish or deep fried breaded stuff. Get some Chinese. There we go. Let's go enjoy the mobility scooters. Mad life advice. Then again, it also depends on what Chinese restaurant you're gonna get this from. You know. I am craving for this thing called what's this? It's like this pork leg. It's like this braised pork leg with this sweet dark sauce, and that's very nice, very well marinated, very soft and tender. Then there's also squid with a bunch of vegetables on it, stir fried. Delicious. Panda Express. Hong Kong date or Kikofu. Hong Kong date is a prestigious place if you have the budget for it. Oh, wait. Here's the other question. Is this going to be takeout, Yura? Or are you gonna go head to the place? Patatim, yeah. Trust me, I have enough skills to help people as Anubis. I try my best. Vesper, for example, I handle her avatar. Yura says I'm having dinner outside with family and they're asking where I want to eat. Wow, that's conflicting. Are you in a rush? If not, then I. You know what? Hong Kong date. 100% Hong Kong date. Remember, Hong Kong date has this lovely steamed fish. That's delicious. Along with the other goodies, which is my favorite. The pork tenderloin sweet sauce thingy. Asper says, didn't have to put high effort into helping me when you first met me, though. Here's the thing, chat. I'm gonna say it outright. I have a little bit of a hero complex. Whenever I see somebody who clearly has something that I can help with, and they're not unsavory individuals, I go out of my own way and offer my help. Like it irks me when I see like when you see, for example, a table and then one of its legs is shorter than the other and it's just making this god awful noise whenever you like shift your weight on it or like try to like slice something on your plate. It just wobbles. You just want to can here take this piece of paper and put it underneath that leg so it's balanced. That sort of itch, I have that. I For better or worse, that's one of my strong traits. So Vesper had an avatar. It was very badly textured. It was very badly textured. It had seams everywhere, and yeah, and no, obviously I went and helped her with that, and to the point that I said, you know what, Vesper, you've been scammed by the guy you've paid for to fix your avatar. You did not get even one fourth your money's worth. So here, I'll do it for you for free. Because I know how it feels to waste money on something and like didn't get my value in it. So I wanted to spare her that, and yeah. Yeah. Sal is asking, are you ever going to do VR chat with fans? You know, Sal, before I used to have community meetups. After every stream, I would invite people who supported me or even just fans who wanted to say hello into a little meet and greet. But after doing that twice or thrice and then two times, I've met people that weren't exactly the best in personality and moral values. Eh, I've kind of put a pause on that. That's why, yeah, yeah. In short, as Anubis said, I tend to help people in distress. I can't help it. It's just like a drive. Some ramen. Ooh, ramen sounds good now. This place is called District Roboto, chat. How do I look? Pin tree. Yeah, it's a little robot town. Nothing special. I mean, it is super special, sorry. Pepper squid. Oh my goodness. Should I order that later? Oh, now I want some. Luna Jinx is making me hungry. Vesper says, that drive helped me in ways without trying. I was lonely when Geb first met me, and he never really knew until I told him. Never really knew. Yep. I was oblivious to it. Well, if it isn't Memo, hold on. Yes? That would be 49.99 Memo. Hmm. Repo, as fun of a game as it is, it falls under my category of install once, play because of the hype, and like never really open it again. I don't know. I had fun, but then I quickly ran out of said fun. Like, what? That's it. That's all you do. Hmm. I'm back, lasagna. Ah. Kuya, what is your favorite fast food restaurant? Chefs? Well, aside from chefs, ha. It probably has to be KFC. I. It's a chicken, chat. It's a chicken. I love me my chicken. Mang inasal is. I'm good. Who in his right mind would want to put melted chicken fat slash oil over their perfectly nice steamed rice? That's apparently one of the seasonings in Mang Inasal and that turned me off a whole lot. I mean, I don't have to do it, but yeah. We love crispy chicken, don't we? Yes. Crispy chicken, and then when you bite into it, you see the glistening white, tender meat just left on the bone, and then you know you're gonna enjoy it during the next bite. Dip it in gravy, sauce of your choice. Have another bite. Mm. Chicken. Chicken is love, chat. Ah, chicken joy. Oh man, that's from Jollibee. So you obviously buy two pieces. So you buy two pieces of chicken in any restaurant, chat, because you're gonna scar. So when you eat the first one, you eat it, you're sad. Oh, it's gone, and then you remind yourself, there's a second one on the plate, and then you're happy again, and then you eat it, and then you're good. Repo is a social lubricant with VTubers. Yeah, the collab game. Collabs, huh? I would only really collab with the person, if at all. If they and I have been really good friends. Like, but if it's a business collab, it's not something I would do in all honesty. Like, who knows what things you might conflict on or like that we will realize on camera, right? Let's get to know each other offline first. Do you like cola? I love the flavor of cola, but I don't drink it. I haven't drank cola in years. Maybe once in a blue moon, like half a cup, if offered, like every few months. But I'm not much of a cola. I don't drink colas. I don't drink beer. I don't drink energy drinks. The only real thing I indulge in is chocolate milk, tea, water, and sugar-free juices. I know it sounds bland. Mango shake. Yeah, oh, you're a nose it. Chocolate milk. Oh my goodness. So whenever I go to the bread shop, it's called Pan de Manila. Ah, they would have this fridge with just nice old chocolate milk in their lineup. And it's one of those bottles that are soft too. It's like 2 liters per bottle. It's like, I would always buy one. It was $2 for a bottle. And then I would bring it home. It's nice and chilled. I would look at the bottom. It's like a little dark because that's where all the chocolate settles. Give it a good shake. Pop it open, drink. Take in that nice, old, creamy crispness, cool chocolate. Delicious. Chocolate milk isn't good if it isn't thick, chat. It has to have some soul, love into it. Has to remind you of a comfortable home. Chat, if you love chocolate milk, type 1 in chat. There we go. See, all these names with great taste. Congratulations, guys. You like chocolate milk just like I do. If and when we have a party, it's not gonna be alcohol that I'm gonna serve. It's gonna be cold cases of chocolate milk for everybody. And water and tea for those that are lactose intolerant. Hershey. Welcome back, Vesp. Have you had the Fairlife
Hello?
chocolate milk? I'm not sure. I've tried that brand. Hmm. Hmm. Your assess. Man, I can imagine one of the worst things that can happen to you is getting lactose intolerant. That's it. I'm dead. That's like, if I get lactose intolerant, that's the same as me being terminal. I only have a few months left to live. If I can't consume chocolate milk, God forbid I can't eat fried chicken. I. Oh, wow. My hospice would be KFC. Last few months of just enjoying what little time I have left. So yeah. Oh my goodness, that thought made me sad. So welcome back, Vesp. You enjoyed your ice cream that I did not have.
It's not like I could just pass it to you all the way from the United States.
Yeah, sure. Won't know till you try. Also, show up saying hello. Your butt is sagging between the two railings. You need to pull yourself up or you're gonna end up like scissor there in between. There we go. No, up, down. There we go. As you can see, Vesper can clearly
Sorry.
control gravity through unknown means. Don't ask, chat. Don't ask me.
Don't ask. Don't ask. You don't need to know.
Do you like water lemon? You mean like an infusion? Yeah, that's pretty good. She's a super agile girl. Yes, she is.
Yes, super agile, and I quite literally trip over air.
There she is, chat, as you can see. So you have a better view of the streets. Oh, wow. What happened?
Oh, wow, what? I don't know.
Damn. Chat was starting to get impressed with your sitting posture. See you around,
I
Frataroli.
opened the menu and then all of a sudden, zoom.
Did you see my bad life advice? Oh, Olympus is asking the best way to start or end the day with an energy drink. Period. Memo says, imagine being allergic to nut or shrimps or avocados. That's up with those are negligible losses. Maybe not the shrimp. I love shrimp. Hmm. What species is your persona? I am Aquafresh charcoal infused toothpaste. Brush every day, chat. Keep your teeth nice, white, and your breath minty fresh. Aquafresh. Charcoal infused toothpaste. Promotion wear. This video is sponsored and promoted by Aquafresh. Imagine if me as a streamer, the first sponsor I ever get is a brand of toothpaste. So every time, like in the middle of the
Goodness.
stream, I'm just gonna whip out the toothbrush and then. Zzz, here's- Wanna have pearly whites as white as mine? Well, no need to fret. There's now a product perfectly suited for your needs. Imagine getting a kiss from me, but from toothpaste instead.
Gab the toothpaste chimera.
Yes, I'm the toothpaste chimera, yeah. You're just so confused right now.
Oh.
Jeb is my new dentist, Olympus. Just look at his teeth. Chat, I'm gonna give you the Colgate cam. Yes, chat. You want your teeth as white as mine? Uh-huh. Just to chill and chat stream tonight, ask Frataroli. Every day, every night. That's what I do. I just laze and yeah, I just chill and chat each time I go live. I know I yawn, chat. I'm not sleepy, don't worry. Maybe a nap after stream. Or let's see what happens. I'll still be here for another hour and a half anyway. Surprisingly, I have only been online for 1 hour. It feels like I've been live for two. Strange.
48 minutes.
An hour and 48 minutes. Right, I was looking at the wrong timer.
Oops.
3 hour stream. I don't know, Memo. Mm. You can call me Bianca or B. Okay. Thank you, Kyra. Ow. Itchy nose. Look at Vesper while I scratch. There we go. Excuse me. Ha! Man! So many people are joining the Discord, but not really chatting. And and not tuning in the live. I wonder why.
I I'd hope they don't have notifications muted.
I think the first thing they mute once they join my server is the oh, hello, Lipstick 14, the robot. So I think the first thing that they mute is the stream pings. Like, what's the point of joining my server, chat, if you're just gonna mute the notifications of me going live, right? Lipstick 14, yeah. Yep, that's the name of that robot. There's
It sounds
14
like
in
an
his back.
obscure makeup brand.
Lipstick 14. Never wanted your lips to be as red as the blush on your date's face. When they see you, well, lipstick 14 is the answer, chat. Not only does it serve as a little plumperizer of the lips, it also colors it really well, a tint, and also moisturizes. Lipstick 14, chat. Fits in your pocket, fits in your wallet. I'd buy it, says Bianca. Okay. You know, that's fun. Look,
Get
if
salesman.
if I get for some miracle I get a sponsor for a product, I will do my best. And I mean, I will do my best to make a 3D mock-up of their model if they don't provide me one, and I'm gonna actually place it here on my streams. So it's this product placement. I'm gonna repeat. Hi there, I'm Gebus. I am currently open for sponsorships. By my not the traditional sense of like, you know, something Shadow Legends and those things. But funny thing, because I always stream in a casual position, sitting and whatnot, I do believe a product placement would be perfect. Don't you think? Imagine just having your little bottle of something over here, ever present in my varying angles on stream. Right? I will make the effort, again, to make a 3D mock-up of your product. Just send me the resources if you don't already have one. And then maybe we can work out the deal, yeah. Heck, I can even sponsor a brand of toothpaste because people have been calling me charcoal peppermint. Or a brand of cookies. Anything, chat. Let me know. Oh, and then I get contacted by a shampoo company, like a brand. Okay, maybe not that, chat. That's a little hard to promote with so little on my head. Hello, Zach.
I mean, you've got a pretty good example over here.
I see. Ah, yes. Head and Shoulders Gibbs version. Palmolive for Vesper.
Hmm.
Palmolive is a brand of shampoo. It's like shampoo and conditioner in one. It's the number one shampoo of resort goers and vacationers because it's convenient to pack but one bottle instead of two. When you do not have space as a luxury while traveling. The best sponsor is
Yeah, I
cat
mostly
food.
just see that as like,
No. I'm sorry, Vesper.
Yep,
What?
can't eat that.
I can't eat that.
I was going to say, over here in the U.S., palm olive is mostly just dish soap.
Dish soap?
Dish
Huh.
soap, yes.
Here it's maybe it's dish soap in the States. It's the same formulation for shampoo here in the Philippines.
Hmm.
Shampoo and conditioner here, yep. Question for Vesper, ask Yura. Does America have shampoo sachets? Good question.
Uh, hmm. Like little pouches of like
Yeah, little
shampoo and all
pouches of
that?
shampoo, yep.
Maybe for like the whole trial sample things,
Like not actual
or
products to be sold.
for things like conditioner packets and all that, but it's never usually an actual product here.
Ah, okay. There you have it. Here, chat, in the Philippines, we don't always serve shampoos in bottles. We also serve them in sachets, like single use options for when you just really need like one or two uses with it. Yeah, I have trackers on my ears, my eyelids, so I can blink, and my eyebrows. As Memo said. Bianca absolutely loves the vibes here. Yeah, welcome to my streams. Next, get trackers for stream hours.
I think he already has one, and it's called the Vesper.
Yes, that's the. She is my tracker for stream hours. That's true.
Yeah, like for example, you've been streaming for
1 hour and
3 minutes
50
shy
cents.
of 2 hours.
Yes. Well. I wonder which familiar face we're gonna run into in our little downtown district here. A place full of robots. What are the odds? Let's see who. Gero Gigi says, so I landed here in a raid. Hello, Gabas. Greetings, friend. Welcome to my stream. Make yourself comfortable. Is that the stray background from the game? I don't know. Wait, are you in the future? What? Do you think I'm in the past, chat? How can I be chatting with you if I'm from way back then? I'm from an alternate present, chat. Yes, that's City from Stray. Here, have a look. There, you can see more of the town. And where Gibbs slouching.
Oh, my tail is new. Not cooperating. Wait, hold on. Let's just.
Oh my goodness. Of all people to pop up in this
Oh,
robotic
hello.
citizen town, a not robot.
Hello, yeah.
Hi.
Okay.
Chat, we actually have a verbal robot showing up on stream. None other than Mechatronic Dragon himself. Come on, he's loading. He's loading up. He's loading his body. There we go. Chat, I'm sure you're all familiar with our favorite Australian dancer, Mecca, right?
Bruh.
Shoppa says knew it.
I
Yes.
love it. Hello, everybody. It's a cool place, yes?
A very cool place, right? So yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, Mecca, how about you go greet chat, say hello, tell the new ones a little bit about yourself.
Hello, everybody. Hope you're doing good out there and vibing with Gib and Vesp here. I don't know what to say.
Oh,
Hey, don't shy away. It's okay.
It's okay. How about you go sit, or if you're gonna visit the place here in the district, you go do your thing. I'll just be here for 30
Okay.
more minutes. And there he goes. That was Mecha Chat, one of my closest friends. He also streams, he draws, he plays games. He's a silly little person. Very golden hearted. You should consider giving him a follow. That's Vesper. It's hard to align the camera, chat. Hold on. There we go. Vesper, how was your day today? Asked Bianca.
Oh, it's been good. Can't really complain. I only had, let's see, I had class to do. Got a little bit of homework done. Chores too, but otherwise it's been a pretty good day.
All right. I'm glad to hear. Ah, yes. Mecca in the back chatting with the dentist. You know you can sit with us, right? On the tail end of stream. We're just kind of chilling here in downtown. Getting some night air, as they call it. Let's zoom out so you can see my friend Mecca. Horizontal offset. Let's go. There. Hi.
Nice place over there. They've even got what is it? Like a waterway over there, back there.
Oh yeah,
Very
the
nice.
docks. Yeah, I was telling them that. That's where Chef from the restaurant across us gets the fresh fish. It's either 300-year-old stock from the freezer or a fresh catch. So yeah.
Gotcha.
Hi there, D. So yeah, what have you been going on about? I was trying to request off of you last night, but it seems you
I
were.
was watching an episode while half asleep of what is it? The Titan thing, Attack on Titan. I think that's what it's called.
You just started the series.
A little bit, yeah. I thought, I should see what that's about. It's very much a show, a bit crikey. is
There-
what I
there's-
would
there's a
describe
lot
that.
of-
Good grief.
Red stuff.
Yeah,
yeah.
crikey. Oh my good grief. But yes, interesting story, but it is very crikey. Oh my god. Grief.
Oh,
I don't know
I bet.
how else to describe it beyond that. It's certainly something. But nah, besides that, just taking it easy. How about you guys? How are you doing?
Same, taking it easy. I finally finished my Avatar work, and yeah, well, Medium Mark II is finished.
Good.
Looking a whole lot better.
Oh my goodness, so much better. Yes, not perfect. One of my teeth is chipped, but who's gonna notice that anyway? So as you can
Oh,
see,
good.
Mecha is not exactly strong when it comes to the stomaching, guts, and red stuff department.
Oh yeah, no, there was tomato sauce everywhere. Oh my goodness gracious! I gotta look away for some of that, but Yes, I can understand why it was quite popular back in the day,
Mhm.
a couple of years back, but I don't know where it's all at now, but it's interesting. Good grief. I'm a couple of
Definitely.
years behind in the series.
It's okay. So, and that is why Mecha's chosen to be in a robotic form instead of flesh. No squishy parts. Yeah.
Oh, goodness gracious.
hmm I remember
What?
showing Mecha some street food from India, like legit how they prepare it. Oh, it cannot. Even that. You remember that? And Cozy Calm.
It looked really cool, but yeah, I don't know if I could have something like that. If it's got the wheats and stuff in that, I might explode. Oh no.
Oh, it has more than just weight. It has the little flying buzzy things. It has the little flappy, crunchy brown things. Yeah.
Oh, good grief.
It's not sanitary, chat. Don't buy street food in India unless it's from a restaurant. Anubis says, I believe he's going to become stronger if he stays friends with you. Did you know Mecca and I are almost 1 year as friends? I think it will be this March,
Yeah,
Mecca.
that's right. Time does
Wait,
fly. I
it
mean,
it was this March. We've been friends more than a year. Yeah.
we have your.
Precisely.
I still find it hilarious when we were at the exercise class. I'm just like, oh hey, looking sharp there. I like your tie. And then from that
Yeah,
conversation,
yeah, precisely. Hey, you look cool. It started like, hey, you look cool.
yeah,
2 sessions,
it
we
was
weren't
funny.
we're just side eyeing each other like, do I talk to this guy or what? And then because
Yeah,
he's the only other
exactly.
big Nova in the class. I'm like, So yeah.
Oh my god. A good giggles.
Will somebody ban
I
Yura
think
for
we are.
1 minute?
Wait, what?
Don't, don't. Nothing, Mecha. Nothing.
No,
Mecha, what's your TikTok
I'm not
handle
gonna
so I
do
can
anything.
follow? Do you have a
Oh,
TikTok or is it Twitch
oh.
only?
I do have a TikTok, but I haven't updated it for like 3 years.
So we're gonna share his
Um,
Twitch instead, where he regularly goes live. So what's your Twitch, Mecha? What do
Mine
chat have
is
to type?
Mechatronic Dragon, and same as in here. And I do funny little squiggles, and if you pass on by for the squiggles, you'll get to be part of the lore for that squiggle. So there'll be a reference
Yes.
in there if you want to pass on by there.
So,
So that's kind of a bit of the fun.
so if you like Mecha over here, how he looks, how he talks, his personality, his golden ray of sunshine of a heart, give him a follow. He makes lovely squiggles. He's dedicated to drawing each and every time. Challenges himself with each passing day to become better than he was yesterday.
Oh, you champion! Cry. Uh, but it's nice to pass by and catch you all and
course,
chat
yeah.
as well. Hello.
Yeah,
But my gosh, it is really cool here.
it is. It's. I like worlds in VR chat that feels alive. You know what I mean? The little things, the exhaust, the steam from the air conditioning units, the lights, the conversations between the robots. It just feels like you're part of a world, not just a prop. You know, like a diorama.
Yeah. Also, the little robots scurrying around.
The
on
little
floor, back and
robots.
forth.
Yeah. Where is he, Lipstick 14, the little red-headed runt? It's not here yet. Oh, I'm about to shop. I'm gonna watch Devil May Cry. Have fun, Shopao. Thanks for dropping by. See you around. Check Kamiko Shopao Arts chat. I think her commissions are open. She's a wonderful artist. Check her socials too. Very cheap prices. Very good artwork. Makes a lot of fan art for me. I don't know why, but I'm always graced by her staff. Sprunky's asking, are you all friends? Yes. As I've said, I've known Mecca past a year now, and Vesper, yeah, since last year.
Yeah. Did I meet him? Did I meet him July when I met you, or was that the month after?
I. Good question. Yeah,
It's been a while.
it's been now. I guess time just
Yeah.
breezes by so fast. It's been more than a year, huh?
I know
Gosh.
that's kind of wild, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, wow. Oh my
Also,
goodness.
hang on, I'll swap to this one because it seems more comedic for the world. Here we go. If I can load in, there we go.
Oh, there we go. So there's Mecha in actual
down.
robot form, Chad.
There we go. Oh my god, more
Oops.
pointy.
Oh, yeah, more pointy.
He's
Cat.
like one of those transformers.
Beep pop pop.
Transformers, you know what? Chat, let's have a good look at Mecha, yeah. So there you have it, chat. There's from Asai.
Oh, hi. Yeah, it's a little fictional company. I got bored during lockdown.
So tell us a little bit about your fictional company, Mr. Mechatronic.
Okay, so it stands for Australian Scientific Artificial Intelligence. Well before the AI stuff started happening.
Oh my god.
It was like, what? 7 years ago or something, I came up with, I'll make a little concept for a funny little story or something. I'm like, hang on, this would be funny to continue the story. What about? And then, that little roller...
Yep. Yeah, the
Did you
little,
see
the little.
that? Are we seeing that roller robot just stared into my soul and drove off?
You mean flashlight? Yep, he does that.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Sorry. But yes, a bit of fun and cool. But yes, the idea was to, because with the whole engineering background I had, I wanted to practice a bit of learning how. Sorry, there's a robot driving into me occasionally.
It's probably your
Wanted
present.
to
It's
practice
his
a
present.
bit of like website practice, how to go about that.
Okay.
And as well present a student project at the time, and I was like, oh, just think of a fictional company. So I
Bye,
was like,
Bianca.
okay, I'll brand it with this. So yeah, that's how it came to be for a bit of giggles.
You were,
Back when I
and
was doing studies.
and how long have you been playing VR chat again with the VR headset, Mecha?
With a headset?
With a headset.
With a headset, that would probably be now, 5 years now at this point, 6 years.
6 years.
Mm-hmm.
Disclaimer, chat.
I played
I've
a
only
full
played
year
for
without a
1
headset.
year. Why you broke? Oh, okay. Never mind. I'm not gonna ask why. Okay.
But yeah, it's been a while. Crikey.
Clearly.
Yeah, I guess in rings of time, 6 years, about 3, and then 1 year.
Gotcha. Yeah, the original headset lasted pretty well, to be honest. Considering all the dancing and stuff I do.
Mm-hmm.
Running into walls, tripping over.
Running into
rediscovering where the filing
walls.
cabinet is behind me. That type I'm not a klutz, but I might be a bit of a klutz. Maybe.
How can you both
Oh,
be
trust me,
graceful
you're
and a
not as
klutz at
graceful
the
as me.
same time? Chat,
I don't know.
Mecha here is part of the dance crew. He's part of, what is it? VR dancing, right?
That's the one. Well done. Yep. They're about. And it's good fun doing dancing. If you're ever
Precisely.
curious, feel free to say hello, Gib, and we can put you in the right direction. Oh,
You-
hi.
Oh, yes. The Dazzy is
Dancing's
asking,
good fun.
do you attend Soaring Fitness? I attend. So
Mhm.
this the fine print. I attend it. Yes. Have I attend
Fine print.
the fine print? I've attended. Yes. The past week, no, and the other week because I was busy. I came from a trip out of town, and lots of things happened. And actually, maybe tomorrow we might be able to catch it, depending on Mecha's inflamed nerves, if they're still acting up or not.
Yeah. So, for reference, chat, Soaring Fitness is a great place to do exercise. You've got qualified instructors as well in there as well. But with my own injuries, I do need to be careful, and that's an important thing. When you're in VR, you can be having lots of fun. You take off the headset and realize, why is my leg hurting a lot?
Yes.
You know, you can get injured and not realize. So definitely pacing yourself is important. After all these years, I'm starting to learn that with the thanks and help of friends reminding me as well. But I haven't been able to go as well for a little bit. But previously, I'd go every week, maybe twice if I was in town.
Yes, same.
But,
I was.
yeah, gotta watch my leg.
So yeah, let me know when you're all up and ready to join us. So Vesper and I would happy to keep you company.
I think it could be a good idea tomorrow. I think it could be. It's been a
Tomorrow,
while
you
since I've
sure?
gone, so yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. I'm still adapting to the time change, so I gotta make sure I'm
Tomorrow.
on early enough. But I think it would be a few hours ago, technically. So yeah.
Okay, yeah. That's the first session. The first session was 2 hours and 37 minutes ago, if I recall correctly.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah, you should be up by
It's
that
more
time.
ideal for you all too. Oh yeah, no, I'm around, but just usually might be around the house trying to get things done. That's it. Because it's
Okay.
near lunch, making sure everybody's got food.
Gotcha. But yeah, there, Soaring Fitness chat.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think that's the logo up here on this side of the arm.
Yeah.
I tried to set this up like a rally car, so all the places I've kind of adventured to a lot.
So you have like little like, sponsor
And-
stickers all over his body, as
like
you
a
can
little
see.
rally car.
Yes.
So I got one special one there, thanks to.
There we go. Let's have a good
Some
look,
of the crew
chat.
on the ship.
Oh, will
on
you
the sheet
look
as
at
well.
that? I wonder who drew that.
I
Right,
wonder
you're
who did that cool little.
Oh, that reminds me. I've got a hood
It's
with
really
a little
cool.
something special on the arm too.
yeah, on the arm. What arm?
I
Yes.
don't know if I
So-
should show that off right now, but
It's really cool. Again, thank you to all the awesome artists out there that pass on by Gibbs stream.
Right? There's so many talented and creative people that seemingly gravitate towards where we are.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Chat, here's a better view of where we are. We're quite literally just hanging around the street. Thank goodness there's no cars here. No cars running
I was
anymore.
gonna say, there is a sign that says no parking, and technically I'm sitting in the middle of the road, so
Eh,
I don't
you-
know.
you-
Am I a vehicle?
You're not a vehicle, don't worry.
I'll move out of the way just in case.
you know, if anything, I'd technically be a vehicle, considering I can fly, you two cannot.
Ah,
I was gonna make another
Goodness
joke,
gracious.
but let's not involve dump trucks in the equation, okay?
I mean, if
What
there's
do
like
you
a,
mean?
Yeah, Vesper, you are a vehicle. It flew over
goodness gracious.
Mecha's head. Don't worry about it, Mecha. You're good.
Okay.
So yeah. Yeah, Raven, it sure is, isn't it? District Roboto, very nice.
I'm gonna try and follow one of those robots and see where it goes.
Go ahead, explore. We'll just be here.
Like, it's driving over here and then it drives up there. And
You're a vehicle, Memo. Oh, pfft. Ow, you that little robot just ran over my left foot. Okay, we're gonna zoom in. Hi, chat. It's an injury. Oh? It's the cushion between the railings and yourself. Oh my god, what is this? Nope. It's defeated. Hold on. Damn it, Patrick. Whoa! Like a clamshell trying to swim. Alright. Where were we? Well.
Where were we?
Where were we? Right.
9 more minutes of stream, that's where.
9 more minutes to stream. That's true. Gal says the stream is making me forget I'm sick. Well, I'm glad that's the case. Very cool stickers. Yeah. Skeeter says, I'm so glad I found you, man. This has been the best TikTok live I think I've ever been. That is very high praise. Thank you, Skeeter. I hope to see you around next time. I stream every other day, around a couple of hours earlier than now. Ooh. Oh, Gal, I hope you recover soon. Sucks being sick. I should know. Wild mech activities. He's somewhere out there.
He's somewhere out there.
Yep. Oh my
waiting,
god. Look at
watching.
the overhang, chat. I'm talking about her tail, how long it is. Normally it's more curved upwards. But I think in order for her not to fall forward, her tail automatically extends backwards more. For center of gravity. There we go.
Oh, speak of the devil and he shall appear. Hi, Mecca.
Oh, hi, Mecha.
Be careful if jumping over that fence. I got stuck there for the past 2 minutes.
I see.
Okay.
Whoa, that's super zoomed out. Wait, there we go.
Crikey.
Where'd my coin
Yes.
go? There we go.
I don't see it anywhere.
It was in my thighs. It fell in between. Whoops.
I'm gonna check out over there.
Do you have a fidget spinner by chance? Yeah, look at your hands, Ding. Di, kailangan ko matest drive yung motor mo. Para mecha activities. Yep, that's what's happening right now. What the hell? Oh. I'm messing with the kalimba that's over here. Chat, we are almost at that hour. Can you believe it's been 2.5 in 5? Goodness me. Play something. Not on stream. My hands are full, see? Scam. Oh well. Goodbye coin. Yep, that's a perfect phrase. Goodbye coin. I'm fine, Jan. I'm okay. No, you're Geb. Okay. Geb, do you still... Yep. Memo's correct. Gonna smack you with an empanada on your forehead. D is asking, do you still have shrimp pets? I actually do. I have a mano shrimp. I have neocaridinias, aka cherry shrimps. I also have whisker shrimps. Mecha is playing jump in the box. Okay, chat, we're gonna...
He's like a cat. If he fits, he sits.
There you go. That's a better POV. That's Mecha, chat.
I got a little box.
Do you know how old Mecha is, chat? Truly a mystery. Truly a mystery. Chat, let's play a little game. I'm not gonna tell you how old it is no matter what, but I want you to guess. How old do you think is good old Mecha Dragon in a box over here?
I just found the box. I thought
You
it was
don't
kind of
have to
fun, so I
make
sat here.
You just sat down in a box. Why?
It's big enough. I can fit in here.
Okay, let's start
Yeah, but
reading
why
what
did
chat
Why did
says.
you have to target him?
19 says Sprunky. 26, that's generous. Gal says 30 or 95. Just choose one. Memo says 26. Holy says 25.
I'm surprised we hadn't had something in the 3D.
500.
500. He is in 20s. That's why you have to guess, chat. 22 says Sprunky. Yeah, he's not a safe chat. He's not 999.
I mean, robots could survive for a
3.60.
while.
That's true.
One
That's
day I
true.
could be an ancient relic. Kind
Yes,
of neat.
precisely. I mean, if you go to Automaton Arms over there, like the little shop, you can see the little unpowered robots on display.
Yeah, I had a quick look over there. Kind of neat.
Holy says the majority of VR chat furries are around 20 to 27. So 25 is a good guess. Can we get the box cam? He just went out. Alright, chat. Mecha, what do you have to say to all of chat's guesses towards your age?
I just want to say I appreciate all your choices and age guesses. It makes me happy. Oh my gosh! But I'm a bit older. I've been around.
A
But
bit.
yes,
A bit.
keep being awesome about it.
Yes. Come on, chat. We have 1 minute remaining on stream. Give a guess for Vesper, quickly. How old do you think she is?
Wow.
Wow. Okay.
Wow. 31? You think Vesper's 31? And Mecha's 25?
I've been around that long.
Oh my god. Alright.
The chat is
I've been around that long.
Okay. 25. Okay. Undying, quit spamming chat, please. 25.
Damn,
Okay.
insulting.
Two 25s. Two 25s.
What? They're taking guesses. They're just having a
Vesper, 34. Oh my god. Oh.
No. I haven't been around that long.
Okay, chat. This individual over here, not that one behind looking around the homeless bots.
There's a lot of robots rummaging around here, so I'm just
Yeah, don't bother. He's trying to sleep. Anyway, going back to Vesper here. How old do you think she is, chat? How much? 25, 34, and more 23. Wow, they think you're in your mid 20s, Vesp. What's your reaction to
Wow.
that?
Alright, so I guess you take me for more mature than I actually am.
Mm-hmm. So Mecha's like 90, younger 20s. Vesper's mid 20s. Alright. That's the gang. Last chat. How old do you think I am? Come on. Give me them guess. You're like 42. Well, Frank, I know where you live, so yeah, I'm gonna sneak a cockroach in your toilet roll. 31 or 32 says D. You sound 25. 99 years old says Yora's about to get banned. Gal says 37 or 126. Yeah, we're getting banned. Okay. Memo with 27. Memo promoted to admin for 15 seconds. Are you like 36? Oh my god, that's a bit of an overshoot. A solid 35. I don't know, Cockroach. You lost your credibility since your first guess. Mm-mm. Okay. So you guys think I'm in my late 20s to early 30s? 33. I know we're not that far apart. 32. What is the age limit for VR? There's no age limit for VR chat. Just-
I mean, fuck's sake, I know about like a few grandpas who play VR chat.
yeah, I have a friend. He's like
There's no age
66 years
limit.
old. He's a progressive geek. Check him out. He actually streams on TikTok. That old man. He's a little Avali. Yeah, he is. He's 60 plus. He's a Navali.
Wow.
Yeah.
When I'm
Oh, okay.
up there, I can be still wibbly wobbling. I might need a bit more. What is it? WD-40 for the robotic
Just
arms
kinda
and things,
curious.
But I'll be there.
WD-40. Yeah.
But good on him.
Yeah, good on him. Imagine, he's in his 60s. He's still mingling with the furry crowd and everything, right? And yeah.
They're having a good laugh, and that's what matters.
Precisely. And he streams on social media. What a cool hip person. 45. You really think I'm in my 40s? Yeah. All right. Am I in my 50s, my 40s, my 30s, or my 20s, chat? Let's start with that bracket instead. Mecha, are you king of the robots? Mecha, are you king of the robots?
Not really, but I like to think I'm pretty good at dancing for a robot, so we'll go with that.
The
He's the king
king.
of Weeble Wobbles.
Yes,
rap for
yes.
Oh my god.
Of all robots that are dancing, he is the danciest. There, chat.
We'll go with that, yeah.
The
I'll leave,
danciest robot
the,
of all.
what is it? Planning and town planning robots to do their vibes. I'm happy to dance.
I like this camera where it just zooms in. It's like, stop right there, criminal scum. You dare break the law under my watch? What's some oblivion? No, it's the zoom in. Never mind. No, nobody's gonna get it. I'm that old.
goodness. I
That's a
remember
good
those
hint to how old I
Oblivion
am,
ones.
chat. Yeah, that's from Oblivion. The guards. Or the-
Yeah, that meme. I remember seeing that. Not too long
yeah. Dance Mecha. Alright. Chat.
Dan?
Yep. The last part of our stream is gonna be capped with Mecha giving us a little downtown dance. Alright? And then we'll say our goodbyes.
On the spot. Hang on, let me see
On
if
the
I can find
spot.
something quickly. Crikey. I gotta have some beats playing. Unless you guys got some. Otherwise, here we'll
Go ahead, come on.
YouTube. Okay. Okay, it's a chill beat. Let's go. Okay.
Early. I like how it's soft jazz playing with Mecha, like moving that way. So essentially, like seducing chat. Chat, that is
When
not
in reality, he isn't.
pre-recorded animations. That is all him actually doing the
I think-
movements.
Yeah, so essentially, the song I'm actually listening to is something on apparently Epidemic Electronic, according to YouTube. It's a chill beat, so it's like normally you'd be doing something like this, but the
Yeah.
beat is 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Skeeter says that's really good. Sprunky says slay in all caps.
Up, down.
So there you go,
Yeah.
chat. Here's
One,
Mecha dancing. What did he say? Erotic electronic. There we go. All right. All right.
Beat in world is a bit tricky. But
Well,
yeah.
come on, Mecha. Say goodbye to
Alright,
chat,
cool.
and then it's Vespers
Bye,
and then
chat.
mine. Say chat. Say goodbye to Mecha.
Next time.
Yep. And Vesper, come on, Ves. Say goodbye. Your turn.
Alright.
Camera's like up there.
Stay... Oh, stay safe, stay hydrated, and make sure to sleep plenty. Bye, Chad.
There you go. And from yours truly, chat. It's been fun today, wasn't it? Compared to last time where I was rather lackluster in the energy department, things have certainly been uplifting today. We especially got our guests. We had Mecha drop in. A pleasant surprise. We also have Vesper here keeping me company. It's nice getting some air. Quite literally because we're outside of downtown. But without further ado, TikTok, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. I'll see you again next time. I'll start earlier. Let's see how that goes. Thanks for sticking around, everybody. Bye. As for my Twitch, of course, what do I say to Twitch? Because Kakaroots is still there, Yora's clearly still there, AV Geek is there. Hi there, glad you could drop by. And Memo. Thanks for sticking around. Always. It means a lot having regulars, you know. Knowing that a streamer has an audience, an ear, a crowd listening is a very clear motivator to walk up to stage in the first place. It's not always about money, chat. Sometimes it's just about the connections you make, even with the people that you can't see. So yeah, I'm not gonna yap on. I wish you a pleasant morning, a pleasant afternoon, a pleasant evening, or a pleasant whatever you're doing. If you're in the bathroom, you better go stand up because, yeah. Anyway, chat, I'll see you around. Thanks for being super cool. Don't forget to use a bidet if you can, please. I'll see you around. Bye,